up this morning and I found out that Netanyahu is being charged with bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. Imagine that.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything wrong. I mean, what did he do that was so wrong in regards to bribery? I mean, come on, this is Bibi we're talking about.
We have more quid pro quo. I mean, I'm hearing that term a lot these days.
Yeah, because with this impeachment hearing that's happening with Trump,
people
want to sound smart, and they'll end up using that
catchphrase. But apparently, according to Haaretz, and by the way, we do keep our show notes. You can check that out right underneath the video. Click on it, follow along with the show, and you can also read up on the stories and fact check us, make sure we're reporting correctly. But in any case, Haaretz is reporting that for the first time in Israel's history, a sitting prime minister is accused of bribery. Attorney General Avichai Mendelblit announced Thursday that Prime Minister Netanyahu would be charged with bribery, fraud, and breach of trust in 3 corruption cases, dubbed cases 4000, 2000, and 1000. And at this point, Netanyahu is claiming that this is a coup.
Oh, my God.
Clearly does not know what a coup looks like.
Yeah, one happened in Bolivia pretty recently.
That's what a coup looks like. Being held to account for very odd behavior is not a coup. And, it's been made very clear by the Attorney General that this is not a left-wing or a right-wing thing. This is a matter of decency and accountability. So what we have here in a nutshell is Case 4000, bribery, fraud, breach of trust. As communication minister, Netanyahu took regulatory steps benefiting a tycoon, Shal Elovich, who controlled Bezik Telecom in return for favorable coverage in a Walla News website. And Netanyahu is saying that there's no evidence that he was ever made aware of any of this.
Okay. Well, okay, so
because you can't be doing anything fraudulent if no one was making aware that there were investigations and charges coming against you.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, okay, see, now this sounds like something very similar here in the United States when we have politicians who basically choose to say, oh, wait, I didn't know I had connections with this person. Oh, wait, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, wait, here's what really happened. This is completely wrong. I mean, again, it once again shows how inept a lot of these political leaders are and how quick they are to try and disguise their lies, disguise their false actions, and them trying to play innocent and thinking that people are just that dumb. I think that a lot of these politicians, no matter what country you're in, I guess they think that the people are just that stupid because I guess for a long time we have a media, I guess worldwide now, that really just doesn't hold their politicians' feet to the fire. Now, there are some examples where politicians are afraid of the media or actually acknowledge their mistakes, but Benjamin Netanyahu seems to get a little slap on the wrist and, just pretends to walk away.
Yeah, and this is, it's a defense. You can't prove that you remember or did not know about something. You really can't do that. So it's a great defense. I remember back when I was a youngster, the Iran-Contra hearings. Yeah. And it was, I do not recall. I do not recall.
That was Oliver North, right?
And the whole thing became a huge joke throughout the country. But this is memory lapses or just being unaware is used as a defense. One might also argue it kind of disqualifies you from being in any kind of position of authority, but we won't go into that right now.
Wow.
Okay, in this case, it's really disturbing. Case 2000, attempted bribery. Netanyahu and a publisher named Arnon Moses made a deal, favorable coverage in one publication in return for limiting circulation of a Sheldon Adelson-owned newspaper. Now, that is beyond, that is, okay, look, media, press, in bed together, linking up.
It once again falls, it's very similar to what we see with our media here in the United States, where the media wants to have access to the front card people. Case in point, the most prolific pedophile in American history, Jeffrey Epstein, he has ties not only to people like Donald Trump and Republican businessmen and leaders and conservatives, but also people within the Democratic establishment, most notably Bill Clinton. And for 3 years, ABC News covered up that story in the investigation because they were going to be denied access to interview Kate and Will. Oh, my God. So it doesn't surprise me that there would be another media trying to do the same thing for good old BB.
He just wishes he had as subservient of a media state as we have here in the United States.
Probably
Yeah.
so.
Well, apparently, according to the article in Haaretz, Netanyahu's defense is that he had no intention of actually realizing the deal, and relationships between politicians and media should not be criminalized. Wow.
Certainly the media needs to have, the ability to speak with people in the government, but it's for the people's benefit, right? Through journalism. It's not for the government officials' benefit.
And
That's
agreeing
not how
to
that
restrict
works.
another publication.
Right.
In favor of another media outlet.
It's
That's
obvious-
not free
it's
media.
obviously
and the idea,
fraudulent.
relations between politicians and media should not be criminalized. Well, what I would say is that if you want to work backroom deals with people, leave office and go into private business.
It strikes me a little bit as like the Al Capone thing, right? Well, we can't get him on all these obvious charges, so we're going to go for like tax evasion.
Yeah,
right?
tax evasion. That's the one way to bring down Al
You
Capone.
get a favorable deal with a newspaper outlet. That's what we're going to get him on because, crimes against humanity and, breaking
Geneva Convention
the Geneva
laws.
Convention, international law. That's not a thing that we have any levers to do with in our judicial system and whatnot. So.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
then we've got Case 1000, which is fraud, breach of trust. Netanyahu received favors from a Hollywood mogul and an Australian billionaire in return for taking actions in the mogul's favor. Netanyahu's defense is, well, there's no problem with receiving gifts from friends, and I didn't know my family members requested any gifts. So here's the thing. If you're not going to
How are you going to play
maintain
stupid?
control over your office, if you're not going to maintain control over the way your family is operating in relation to your office, you probably need to step aside. I think that most politicians understand this. Decent politicians.
Here in the United States.
Well,
Hold
this
on.
is Israel, though.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is, we'll see what happens with this, but this is not a coup.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
we can all agree with that here at Harlan's Media.
That is a
Yeah.
mischaracterization.
No, wait. Hold on. Do you want to know what was a coup? Bolivia. That was a
Bolivia?
coup. What was happening or what was going to happen in Venezuela? That was a coup. Daniel on the mic. I'm seeing him real quick.
Just want to point out for the record for everyone, I know we got someone sitting here, I don't mind him, that most of these, like Netanyahu is Philadelphian. Most of the people we're talking about in Israel are Americans that just happen to live in Israel and have citizenship and happen to be in the highest office. But maybe another thing we can say is maybe
Daniel's saying the quiet part loud.
yeah, maybe we say that Israelis should govern Israelis and not Americans emigrating to Israel shouldn't.
Oh,
Just a
there we
thought.
go.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah.
And
So what other countries are Americans allowed to be the prime minister of?
That's a very good question. I think.
Boris Johnson, I think he gave up his American citizenship, but he did have dual citizenship.
Hold on.
But he
Wait.
was born in New York.
I heard someone mention whether it was Daniel. I heard the UK because Bernie Sanders'
Just
brother.
said Boris Johnson.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders' brother was the Green Party in the UK.
Did he become a UK citizen? We will find out later, not right now.